away. We receive the word, we hear the word, and as soon as we receive it, it's gone. It never takes root, it never settles in, because our hardened hearts from our negative emotions are allowing Satan to come in and snatch it away. And he's talking about those who've heard the word. He says, be careful. Be careful that we don't allow this path to be worn into our hearts. We don't allow Satan to bring this hard-heartedness. It says the sower, Jesus Christ, sows the word, he sows the gospel into our heart. And those are the ones along the path where the word is sown. When they hear, Satan immediately comes and takes away the word that is sown in them. But then he says there's a second group. So the first one is where Satan comes in and takes the path, this hard path by negative emotions is sown over our heart, and Satan comes in and snatches it away. But then he says there's a second group, and he says in this second group, we're talking about those. He says, and these, in verse 16, these are the ones sown on rocky ground. The ones who have rocky areas of their life, unsettled areas. He says those who have rocky areas in their soil, rocky areas in their heart, that when the word of God is sown, they hear it, they receive it with joy, they're excited about what they've heard. But the seed is confronted with the rocks. The seed can't take hold in the ground. There's too many rocks in the way. Not as tough as the hard soil where Satan comes in and snatches, but it's rocky soil. You imagine if you're a gardener, if you're a farmer, and you're trying to get something to grow, and you got all these rocks. One of the first things you do, I remember as a child, my grandfather would have me go with a bag and get all the rocks out of the garden first when it's springtime and it's time to turn over the garden. He says, we got to get the soil ready. We got to ready the soil. And the first thing you need to do, grandson, is to get all the rocks out. Some of us have some rocky points in our relationship with Christ. And look at what he said. Look at how he turns it here. He says, these are the ones sown on rocky ground, the ones who, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with joy. And they have no root in themselves, but endure for a while. They come to church for four weeks straight. They read the Bible for 2 days in a row. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone here. I'm just giving us an understanding of what it's saying here. It says they have no root in themselves, but they endure for a while. None of us want to just come and go, stop and start. He blesses. We're in relationship. We're out of relationship. And our lives are rocky. Right. And he says they receive it with joy. They have no root in themselves, but they endure for a while. Then when tribulation and persecution arises, as soon as tough stuff starts happening, because it's been sown in a rocky, inconsistent heart with the Lord, it says that the word has no root in it. On account